So here we go. I'm going to attempt to pull off the rear bearing hub on a Triumph Herald. Well, it's my Triumph Herald. I've made a puller for it. A number of people have made homemade pullers and they've not been robust enough, so my one will no doubt probably be the same. But I've tried to make the best effort I can, and I shall wave it in front of the camera so you can see. The welding on the outside is far from marvellous, but that's only because I'm going to blame the welder. Yeah, blame the tools. But the two main components, which is the main cylinder in the middle and the flange, that was welded by someone who knows what they're doing, and the other bits were just put on as belt and braces. I'll go into more details on that a little bit later, perhaps, if it actually works. But I thought it would be fun for the internet to watch my failure. But we'll see how we go. I shall come back in a minute once it's installed. So that's the actual puller mounted on there. Rather than the normal mechanical device with basically a length of studding jacking against the axle, I've got a hydraulic ram which I shall screw in now, and then you can see that. And there we go, that's the hydraulic ram installed. It's supposed to be rated up to 80,000 newtons, which by my reckoning is about 8 tonne. So hopefully I shall jack it up and it will go with some sort of bang. But here we go. Oh well, that didn't work. It feels like the seals are letting go in the ram. So what I'll do, I think I'll put a bit of weight on it, and then I'll give it a couple of hammer strikes down the back on the taper section and see whether that shocks it free. Okay, so there's a little bit of weight on that with the hydraulics. Let's give this a whack on the back. I've got a blunt chisel to use as a punch. Let's give it a go. That got it. So there we go, hydraulics wins. All I've got to do is do the other one. Okay, here we go for round two. Doesn't appear to be any stress on the welds on the puller, so I think I'm happy to go for a second one. So this one's for the passenger side. I shall do the same again. I'll pump it up, put some pressure on it, and if it doesn't go, I'll give it a few hammer strikes on the back where the taper is, and hopefully it will go with a similar sort of bang. A bit of weight on it. Let's see. Something went. Not sure what. Maybe it was the pump. Okay, here we go. Being stubborn, but we all knew that was going to happen. Once again, we win. So there you have it, homemade hydraulic hub puller for a Triumph, Herald, Vitesse and no doubt others. Success, 2-0. So probably about time I did a bit of an update. Haven't been out to the garage much since well, end of autumn really. I just haven't had the enthusiasm motivation to get out here, but I've hold fire on the panel work at the moment. I just can't get in the mood for doing that, so I decided to start on the mechanical bits. So as you can see under here, well, you might not be able to see because it's not there, is all the rear suspensions out. So it all came out pretty easy, even though things were a little bit rusty and whatever. I think there was enough oil splashed around from the diff and everything else underneath the car that things did eventually come undone. So not too much drama. And I've basically got all the bits out ready to clean up and do stuff with. The white rusty spring was the one that was on the car, and the other one was a spare that came with it. The spare one, or the darker one, has actually got a bit more of an arch to it, so I'm going to go with that one. So I'll freshen that up a little bit, give it a bit of wire brushing, bit of paint, maybe a bit of grease, and then by the time I've got some new bushes in the ends, that'll be good enough to go. The diff I shall rebuild. I shall just got to get it all cleaned up, strip it down. I'm going to see about changing the breather, because that seems to be a bit of a sticking point. It's literally just a hole with a split pin in it, and it rattles around and in theory keeps the hole clear. But as you can see, it's all caked up with road dirt and grit and muck, and then it over pressurises the diff and then blows oil out. Who knew? So what I'm going to do, or the plan, is I'm going to get a breather from a MGB gearbox diff, and then just punch out the plug that split pin goes through, tap it out to a BSP thread and screw a proper breather in there. So that should work, and that should be significantly better than what was done originally. So that's the diff. And then over on this bench we've got the axle. This one's for the driver's side. Managed to pull the hub off this morning. as you'll see elsewhere in the video, with my hydraulic puller. And so I just need to strip that back plate off, break it all down, and then degrease. I'll probably sandblast it and then get it painted, make it all look nice and pretty. There's all the bits and pieces from that side. I've already made a little bit of an effort on these parts, so the drums and the radius arm and the bottom end of the shock. We're not going to replace the shocks because the shocks actually feel alright. There's good resistance in both directions. So there was just a little bit scabby around the bottom edge where paint has flaked off a bit. So I'll rub them down and I'll give them a fresh coat of paint and they'll be good to go. And then the story on the other side is pretty much the same. It's all a bit chaotic in the garage, so I need to, like I say, haven't been out here for some time and stuff builds up. So once again I've got another pile of bits over this side, and it's just a lot of cleaning and painting, and then it'll be a case of getting a bit of a shopping list. I'm going to go with poly bushes on the suspension just because they're much easier to fit, and I've used them before in the past and I've been very happy with them. It just it feels a lot easier than messing around with the actual rubber, but we'll see how we get on with that. Just need to buy the bits. They're fairly expensive, but obviously you get what you pay for. So that's it for a mini update. I shall be back at some point, or once I get this edited, and then hopefully I'll have had a wallet reset, buy some bits, and then start putting things back together.